Hey everyone, it's Kelly from Silly Moon Quilting Co. Welcome to my studio. So today's just going to be a really quick overview tour. Many of you know that I've already changed my location in my home where my studio is. So I wanted to just give you a quick tour. This room is by no means complete, but I think the last video I did in this room was the unboxing of the Q16. So I wanted to give you a quick update as to where we are. I haven't had much time to spend on doing stuff in here, but I have come up with a plan, so that's half the battle. So I'm going to do a quick turnaround here and give you the grand tour and show you the machines that I've got in here and what I'm working with and my general plans for what I'm going to do in this room. And if anyone has any better suggestions, I would love to hear them. You can put them down in the comments. I'm always open to new ideas and different ideas as to what I can do in this space. You'll see that the walls are kind of a smoky gray blue. The reason for that is this room was already painted when I moved in here. We had just repainted it. One of my daughters was living in here and moved out. So we repainted it and I like the color, not thinking it was going to be a sewing space. So yes, probably I would have had white, but I do quite like the color. So we'll see how things work out in the long run. I do have lots of natural light and I'll show you that as I do my turnaround. Actually, I'll go like this and you can see there's my window space and I'll have a beautiful view, which I'll show you when I flip you around to show you the rest of the space. So here we go. This is a really quick studio tour. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below and I'm happy to answer them. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so this is the grand overview. I'm standing in the doorway of the studio. So we'll start here. You can see I've got my Q16. Her name is Veronica. You'll understand the concept in a second. And the table that I'm using is the Bernina lift table. I'm going to do a whole video on why I think this table is awesome and how much I'm loving this machine. I've been taking them on some tours and playing with them quite a bit, so we'll get into that a little bit more in the future. You'll see here this big blank space on the wall behind my Q16. We're going to be doing something really cool there, and we're probably going to do it as a live. I received an amazing gift very recently, and it's going to go up in that spot so that I can look at it every day, and we'll walk you through the whole process and what it is in a future video. I've got a stand there that I've got this quilt on right now. Not sure if that's going to stay. This big wall behind that here is going to be my design wall. So I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do it yet. I've seen a couple different ideas of how I want to do my design wall, but this whole space, this whole wall here is going to be a design wall, or at least a good section of it, so I can put a double or queen size quilt on there and stay nice and organized. You'll see I've got my little folding table here with my tiny cutting mat. That's when I'm doing some foundation paper piecing. And my little basket that I got for Christmas. Some of you have seen this already. It's got my gloves in it, some starch, Best Press, my 505 spray, which I use for basting. None of this is sponsored, by the way. Another one that I use for water. These are the best thing ever, by the way. If you don't have one, they just release a nice stream of water. I've got my good sewing scissors. I've got my paper scissors, my rotary cutter down here. Paper scissors, like I said. My pin cushion with pins and wonder clips all clipped on in one. And then just a few other odds and sods, other quilting gloves and the such. So I'm going to turn back around over here. So of course we talked about the Q16 and you've seen some videos of it. It is the lift table that I'm using, which I absolutely love because sometimes I like to quilt standing up, so I can use these buttons to make it stand up, to go upright so I can stand and quilt. It's also so I don't have to break my neck when I'm trying to get at the bobbin. I can just lift the table, which is awesome. And it's got these really big wings that come out the side. The other side has one as well. Again, I'm not going to get into that too much. We'll do that again later. This is more about the room and the space that it takes. You can see there I've got my travel bag. It's in this room. Usually I keep it down in the basement, but it's in this room because I just got back from taking my domestic machine out to a little getaway at the local school. And you'll see more stuff about that coming. In the corner, I've got my lights. Of course, that's a couple of them. There's more to come on that. My desk. Of course, this was actually my kid's desk that my husband made, so I do kind of like that desk. My little garbage can that was from popcorn. I always keep my machine covered, my domestic machine covered when I'm not sewing with it so that it stays dust free. And so that I can get it right down to the bottom, I take the extension table off just to make things a little bit neater and easier. This is my little garbage can for my desk for threads and such that my daughter gave me for Christmas. So on the windowsill, I've got another water bottle, my snowman stuff, this super cool little thing here, that I put all my stuff that I use all the time, my cordless phone charger, my Bernina ambassador sign, of course, very important, and my little Bernina Barbie case, I like to call it. You'll see I've got snowman stuff up here. I might just leave them up year round for, hey, why not? I love stuff. So then under my cover here, I've got, this is Betty. Everybody give Betty a big welcome. My Bernina B735, Betty, and of course the Q16 is Veronica. Kind of tells you what era I grew up in. And of course this I do my piecing on, as well as I do ruler work on there as well. I'm working on a whole new set of videos, and those videos will be recorded using the rulers on both of these machines so that you can easily see which one works for you. My chair, I'm not feeling great about it. Would like to find a nice chair. So if you know of a good sewing chair, or you have a sewing chair that you absolutely love, go ahead and comment in them down below, because I'd love to find a better chair for this space. So around here, let's keep going around here. So this wall here is going to be like a to-do board, message board, calendar type thing, I think, so far. Anyway, that may change. I've got the closet here, which I've got this stacking system. So I've got the current project I'm working on, my wool pressing mat, my little tiny iron, and then these drawers contain things like, you know, cutting, rulers, and blank fabric, and batting, and such like that. The rest of the closet is still in transition. Some of my daughter's stuff's still in here, so we're working on that. That will hold my ironing board and my cutting board, which is coming. My new cutting system is going to go in there. And then this wall, this big wall here, is going to be a giant pegboard. And that giant pegboard is going to hold all my rulers. I like to be able to see my rulers so that I can grab which ones I want, and I find them a little bit inspirational. If I'm looking on how to quilt something, if I've got them out, I can see them. So I'm going to be putting them all there. And yeah, and it's probably going to be white. I haven't decided if it's going to be white or black. If it's white, it'll kind of brighten up the space as well. So that's the tour of the room. I'll go back around one more time. That's the tour. You'll see I'm set up on the Q16. I've got some glide thread on there. I don't have any thread on the B735. I don't travel with thread on, and I just got back from a sew day at a local school, so there's no thread on there. But I have been playing with thread, both Orfil and glide, as well as some Gutermann and some Mettler, just kind of trying to find what I like best for these machines, because of course different machines like different thread. So that's my studio tour. It's a small room. It's only about 10 by 10, 10 by 10, 11 by 11, something like that. So you don't need a huge space. I do have a lot of my fabric stored in a different area in the house until I figure out a better way to store it closer to where I am, but that's okay. I have room in my basement, which was my old sewing room. And I have that space down there where my larger fabric is stored. And then I bring a project up at a time. And that actually working so far for me, because it's keeping the space a little tidier. I work on one project and move it away. I, like so many people, am notorious for ending up with stuff spread all over the place. So that's one of my New Year's resolutions, is to try to work on a project, finish the project, and put it away. So we'll see how that goes. I do tend to track stuff through the house. I've got rulers and fabric through the whole entire home. But for now, that's what we're going to try, and that's my plan. So this room will be working on a project, maybe one I'm piecing and one I'm quilting at the same time. But beyond that, the projects will be stored elsewhere. So I hope you enjoyed that tour. I would love to hear your thoughts on any other ideas or thoughts. And please make sure you like and subscribe and share. I really appreciate that. It helps me out a lot on YouTube. And make sure then you hit that notification button so you see what's going to go on that big wall behind the Q16. Okay, thanks everyone. Have an amazing day.